Okay, so now we're ready to build the mastery path. So we're going to start up here with the pre-assessment, our launch. This is the one that's going to divide the students up into the different pathways. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on Edit, and then I'm going to click on the Mastery Paths tab. So this is where the actual setup happens. You'll see that the point values are listed over here on the left, and I'm going to go ahead and adjust these to be what I want for this particular scenario. And if you only had two pathways here, by the way, you would just put a 0 here and just put a dividing line here so that everybody below that score would go on one path and everybody above would go on the other. And you can just leave the bottom path blank in that instance, and that's fine. So to add resources, you click on plus, and you can actually just start typing the name if you know the name. And I'm just going to add that one. And you can add these multiple ones at a time if you can find all of them at once. Let's see, Edpuzzle. I'm going to add that one too. And what you'll notice is as these come in, they automatically have and symbols between them. And if you want them to be an or instead, you can just click on that ampersand and it will split those apart. So in this case, students would have to do both the Quizlet and the Homophone post-assessment, or they would have to do the Edpuzzle. So you may want to play with the order that you add these in so that the ands and the ors work out the way that you want them to do. Okay, so for this pathway, I was going to do that Quizlet again. You can add the same thing to multiple pathways. Okay, that is added to both the top two pathways, and that is allowed, but I will caution you that if you find yourself adding exactly the same things, then you need to reevaluate whether Mastery Paths are the right tool for you. Okay, well, let me go ahead and add the last one here. And this one I'm going to do a Nearpod, and I'm going to do the Edpuzzle, and I'm going to do the post-assessment. All right. And so you'll see that like I have the post-assessment in all three pathways. I have the Quizlet in two of the pathways, but there is different work among these. And so this makes sense for a mastery path situation. And then I'm just going to click Save. And what I want to show you next is just what this looks like for students. So what you can do is, well, you do need to make sure that your module is published, because if you didn't publish your module, it's not going to work. So from your point of view, let me move myself out of the way here a little bit. This is what your module looks like now in your perspective. Now, this is very interesting because commonly confused words, I didn't put that in my mastery path anywhere. And so I can tell because it has nothing over here. So I may need to go back and fix my mastery path so that I include that. That's a telling sign. Okay. So this one says multiple. That means that it's available in multiple pathways, as are these. But these two are in specific pathways, and it tells you which pathway they are in. And the fact that this says mastery paths right here means that this is the launching assessment. So that's what it looks like for you. It is published, so the students would be able to see this. I'm going to go unpublish everything else in this course just to make this a little simpler for our purposes, because I've just got a lot of junk in here. Okay, and now I'm going to go home, and I'm going to go over here to Student View. And we're going to look at the module view and see what this looks like. Now, what you'll notice, it has that pre-assessment, the one that's available for everybody. And everything else in this module is locked until that is graded. And when I go and take this assessment, oh, and there's 10 questions, so this may take a minute. Let me pause it and then I'll come right back. All right, so I took the quiz and I got 30 out of 100 points. So now when I go to modules, you'll see that now I have different options available. I have more stuff. This is the rest of the things that, these are the rest of the things that I'm going to have based on my performance on that quiz. So I don't see the other pathways. I don't see what anybody else is doing. I only see what's been assigned to me. And that's a mastery path.